filming this video during the end of December holidays. And the reason for that is because this is when students get lazy. This is when students start to slack off. And it's when the difference really shows between the top 1% who get those top grades and then the rest of us. And this literally goes for if you're in school, college, sixth form, university, whatever you want. This is literally a universal point. And in this video, I'm going to explain a few things every student should know right now, because the exam period for most students right now is from May to June, and that's coming up faster than you think. We're halfway there and a lot of people don't even have nothing to show for it. But don't worry, I'm not going to moan at you at how important or how close your exams are. I'm sure your teachers/lecturers are already doing that. What I am going to tell you is the things that you should be doing and what I was doing in your position, which led me to go from someone that procrastinates a lot and getting really bad grades to the opposite, being the top 1% of students and really fully locking in. The first thing is have a break, but stay consistent. What I mean by this is especially right now when you're in your December holidays or you're going through any sort of half term or holiday break that you might have, you're going to be thinking, and I know a lot of you have done this, is, now's the time to chill. Now's the time to get online, jump on with the guys, jump on with your friends, play some games or scroll on your phone and just chill every single day. The truth is, if you're doing this or you've done this, you're already losing. You're already going downhill. And having this mentality is super damaging. But don't worry, it's really fixable and you can stop this right now. And I know you're thinking, I'm not gonna tell you to do tons of revision on your holidays. I'm not gonna tell you to just spam out and never take a break and never do any of this. What I am gonna tell you is take that break and chill and go on your phone and go and play some games. However, on the same side as that, you need to be consistent. You need to stay consistent. What I mean by that is when you're on these break periods, every day, just do a little bit, maybe even an hour or two of work, and then take your time to relax, take your time to chill. And what's really important is that you do this after you've done the work. So do the work first. Every day when you wake up in the morning, do some work, do some revision, and then take the rest of that day off to just chill. Right now, when you're on this holiday period, your mind isn't even thinking about school. It's not even thinking about those things. And it's really easy to let those concepts go. So that's why I'm telling you to take a break, but still stay consistent. And if you think to yourself, oh, I can go 2 weeks and I will still remember everything, I'm a genius, this or that, or you think you're ahead of everyone else, then let me ask you about this one thing. Have you ever gone on a little break, gone on a little holiday or a little 2-week, 3-week break, and when you come back, it literally feels like you don't even know how to write. Your hand literally feels irregular. It feels weird having that pen in your hand while you're writing, while you're listening to your teachers, lecturers, etc. That feeling is because your mind is forgetting. If you don't have consistent efforts to keep up that content, do your chemistry, do your maths, do your physics, your brain will not be able to keep up and keep remembering because it's not seeing it daily. So on your half terms, on your breaks, like right now, this December holiday, you need to stay consistent. Take a break, but stay consistent. Like I said, unlike a lot of videos on YouTube, I'm not telling you to overwork yourself. I'm not telling you to spam out revisions during this period. I'm telling you exactly what I did and how it helped me. The next thing that's essential is to control your procrastination. For just 10 seconds, listen to me when I say this one thing. Procrastination is the exact same thing as avoidance. And avoidance only happens because you're scared of something. You have a fear. And this is normal. We all have this fear. We all procrastinate in one way or another, and you're lying if you tell me that you don't. But the way to actually control your procrastination is as follows. First thing, identify and know your fear, understand it. Let me give you an example of common fears people have and why they procrastinate. Say someone's procrastinating to revise, say someone's procrastinating to do their chemistry revision, let's say. Their fear could literally be the fear of failure. They're scared that they're gonna fail, so they don't even want to try. Somebody might not wanna go and do the revision in the library. Why? Because they're scared that people will laugh at them because they try and then it doesn't go so well. You might be scared of doing this work or locking in because you might make yourself look stupid. You might be scared because it might just not turn out the way you want it to. These are the most common fears that most people have when you procrastinate, and I guarantee some of you watching this will have one of these fears. The thing that you gotta do is think deeply. Think exactly about the times that you procrastinate and think, what was I scared of that made me avoid that task, avoid that revision, avoid doing that work? What was this fear that I have? It's not going to be easy to think about this in just 10 seconds, so really take some time and make sure that you know this fear and understand it. Cool, now we know your fear. The next step is to find your motivation. Not just any motivation, your deep motivation, your true motivation. Why are you doing all this? Why are you even in this position? Why do you want to come out of this? Why are you watching this video? Why do you want to come out of this with those A stars, those 9s, those top grades? What is all of this studying and effort and late nights? What is that all for? For me, my motivation was my parents and my religion. I wanted to make them proud, and most importantly, as a Muslim, I wanted to be the best I can for the sake of Allah. When I actually realized this, when I realized what I was actually doing this for, why I was studying so hard and looking at these videos that you're looking at right now, it made it so much easier to let go of my phone, slap that in another room when I was studying, start time blocking, start scheduling my tasks, start actually just locking in. I knew my fear, I knew my motivation, and it really helped me to channel all of that into my work and stop procrastinating once and for all. If you really want to get to the top, you're not going to get there without mastering habits. Now I'm going to tell you all this information I'm about to talk about I got from Atomic Habits. It's an insanely good book, and I'd highly recommend you give it a read for this. Now the reason I'm mentioning this book is because it talks about this specific loop that is so important. Cue, action, reward. Every single habit you do, every single thing that you do without thinking happens through this loop. The cue is the trigger to the behavior. The action is the actual habit that you do and that craving that you get to do it. And the reward is a satisfaction or benefit that you feel afterward, making you want to do it again. It goes without saying, if you can master this habit loop to make yourself do more good habits and do less bad habits like checking your phone, more good habits like revising, you are going to excel so much faster. And I'm actually going to explain exactly how you can do this. The first thing, to make yourself have more good habits, what you want to do is make the cue obvious, make the action easy, and make the reward greater. Let me explain. An example habit could be that you want to do your chemistry flashcards first thing in the morning. First step, making the cue obvious. The first thing that you can literally do that comes to my mind is have a note attached to your bedroom door saying, do your flashcards in bold. Instantly, you seeing that every morning is going to make you think about flashcards and remind you of that habit. Next thing, making the action easy. The way you make this action easy is literally having the flashcards ready and open on your desk. That way you don't even have to go and get them. They're easy for you to do, and the action is made easy. Next thing, making the reward greater or more satisfying. After you do those flashcards, tell yourself every single time after you finish that flashcard, you can enjoy your favorite snack. You can enjoy a chocolate, a pack of crisps, whatever you like, whatever you really enjoy. That way, by having that reward at the end be bigger, you're more likely to do those flashcards. Now, for bad habits, it's literally the exact opposite for good habits. You're going to make the cue not obvious, the action harder to do, and the reward much less. Let's take a bad habit that we probably all have, okay? Scrolling on your phone while you're studying. The first thing is we have to make the cue hidden, make it not obvious. What I would recommend for this and what I do every time I go to study is I don't have my phone with me in the room. I put it in a completely other room. That way, any notification, any ringing, any buzzing, you don't see it, you don't hear it, so you don't think about grabbing your phone. The cue is not obvious. Making the action harder. Most of us scroll on social media on our phones. What you can do is install app limits, install blockers and stuff like that to stop you from actually scrolling on those social media, or just deleting those apps in general. That way, the action of actually scrolling on social media is a lot harder. You'd have to re-download those apps or get rid of the blocker. Adding more obstacles in the way is better. Now, making the reward less satisfying is actually pretty difficult because your brain literally just enjoys social media because it releases that dopamine. There's not really much you can do here, except one thing that I used to do is every time I'd mess up and scroll on social media or do a bad habit, I'd make myself do like 50 or 100 press-ups, which for me is insanely challenging. I don't know, there might be people that out there that don't find that hard at all, but just make yourself do something that you don't like to do or that's really hard, stuff like that, and that will make the reward a lot less satisfying. So look guys, I hope this video really helped you out, and I hope you took a lot from this and that you can lock in properly during this period. Now I can talk for hours on this kind of thing, but unfortunately I can't. Now I get a lot of questions from you guys in my comments asking me about studying, about procrastination and all those things, and I want to say that I'm much more likely to answer and to help you out if you join my free community and drop some questions there in the Q&A section. That way I can properly answer, and then other people can see that and it will really help them out. So please make sure to join this if you have any questions for me about productivity, study, anything about locking in. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.